Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert. This is VlogsBoutNothin. It's a show where I talk about nothing. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Consider subscribing. If not, I'm just happy that you're here. The channel continues to do well, and even when I'm sad sometimes during the day because of things that happen in my personal life, it's nice knowing that such a community is being grown simultaneously with with my life, with my dailies. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Moreover, you're probably going to be watching this in the future, as though these videos don't historically do well at the beginning unless good old YouTube has helped me out. But regardless, there is, I feel, a need for this kind of programming, and I'm happy to be the person to entertain you. I am, in fact, your jester, your clown, your person that just wants to be in the background as a comfortable voice to assure you that it'll all be okay. I know that it doesn't seem like it, but it will be. So that's what I tell myself, and I'm a pretty confident guy, so my confidence can be shook. However, with each breath I take, I feel like, inevitably, I hope to live a long life. I mean, this is my hope, right? Statistically speaking, past the age of 43 as an American male, I'll be more opportunistic as it concerns my lifespan potentiality. You got to listen to the insurance people. They know best. The numbers that these guys work with are incredible. It's a remarkable industry, isn't it? Insurance. Aren't you a remarkable industry? Anyways, what I want to talk about tonight is why democracy ultimately fails and why there does, in fact, need to be something done about it. Moreover, probably sooner than later. But the United States seems to always be about 100 years behind. So this is right in that appropriate 100-year kind of window. Let's let things happen for about 100 years before we stop them. I wonder if this is in some like secret code. I know none of us know the secret handshakes. Do any of us know the secret codes? I wonder how it all works, don't you? Because clearly democracy doesn't work. And clearly, there's a link in the description below that's inspired me to have this discussion because it has been presented to me that through empirical evidence, democracies are mathematically impossible. And I am a pretty good debater, but I always find that math is one tough cookie. There's really not a lot you can argue with as it concerns numbers. The interpretation of those numbers is something left up to debate. But there's something magical and truly beautiful about math. I've got to give it to all my math heads out there. You feel me? I've always had a tremendous amount of respect for people that have a different mind than my own. And I feel like my mind is just more of the kind of go between for people that are interested in making change via the people who know how to make that change. And that also goes back to the interpretation of what is being divulged to us or how it is being disseminated and thereby interpreted. Social capitalism is a really good substitute for democracy. I'm a social capitalist. I encourage you to watch any of the other number of videos that I have recorded in regards to what I think social capitalism is and why I think it is the next step in political doctrine, and then obviously socialism. But so more as that I'm a socialist, I really feel like there are some people out there that have some very strong feelings about personal property, including myself, and the ability to exercise free will, and the idea that a free market can exist when it is executed in a way that has governed authority to really enforce the kinds of ethical and just laws that must be made to obviously complement a really good idea. Capitalism in and of itself, is not a bad idea. It incentivizes hard work. It makes the allocation of resources competitive, in that the best person should always come out on top, ideally speaking. However, that's really not how it works. And a good example is Ralph Nader garnering over 100,000 votes in Florida specifically, while the difference in the vote count between the two major political candidates, Bush and Gore, was somewhere just under 700. And it's hard to understand that by voting for the person that, by not voting for one of the major political candidates, we in fact harm the person that would most likely get our vote if we weren't obsessed with the fact of having to choose between two ultimately really bad choices. And that is a math problem. Democracy is a math problem. Math is not my field of study. I have the luxury of having some really good advice in my own personal life as it concerns that discipline. For this, I am forever grateful. It offers me a perspective into what otherwise a mind that I don't have. And that mind speaks truth in its sort of most unbiased and undiscriminatory way. And when you begin to realize that democracies are mathematically impossible, you may begin to feel frustrated or saddened or stubborn in that you want to make it work. But the point is that it can't work. It hasn't worked and it will never work. So while in theory, democracy in and of itself has been arguably the reason that the United States of America has been able to expand in the modern climate the way that it has, I feel strongly that social capitalism is our next step in how we need to execute decision-making process here in our country. It's really important that we understand what we're doing isn't working, and it will never work. So why do we continue to do things that have never worked and will never work? That makes me feel frustrated. That makes me feel a little cuckoo. And I think any rational person would also feel this way, because we all do want, inevitably, to have the opportunity to place a vote for a candidate that we really would like to express our interests, and to represent us. Again, democracy sounds real good, a voice for the people. It's just mathematically impossible. 2 plus 2 is 4, not 5. A mathematical impossibility. And math offers a lot of flexibility. So if it's impossible in that world, it's really impossible in the real world. I mean, quantum science is as close to magic as we can come by, but even that can be explained through math. So it's just real interesting to understand and begin to really accept that we're wrong and we've been wrong. And I don't want to be wrong anymore. And I don't want you guys, I don't want us to be wrong, because that's a fool's errand. Why must we continue to participate in a system that is wrong? I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Why do we do that? Why do we continue to do this to ourselves? Is it because it's a lot of work? Is it because democracy is a tough sort of concept to sell, and if it's ever challenged, then oh boy, too much work to change that. Let's just keep what we have going on. If we continue to think like this, our country will inevitably suffer. And I'm a fan of this country. I really am. And, American 100%. I'm with Uncle Sam. Always have been and always will be. It's a trying relationship at best, but it's an unavoidable relationship. So, I digress. To Uncle Sam and Uncle Anthony, you guys are forever my uncles, and I've pledged my loyalty to you many times over the course of my life, including publicly now here on the YouTube channel. So, take that. However, we can always be better, and a part of being better is accepting change. Quite honestly, rapid change. Because if that doesn't happen, and pretty quickly here, we're going to find ourselves in a situation that we do not want to be in. And I think that's pretty predictable. I think any algorithm would tell us that we're headed down the wrong path. So, what should we do? Well, we should exercise our human being right, our sentience, and just sort of really start to use our brain to make good decisions, even though they might be tough decisions, and even though they might require some work. That's okay. We're Americans, right? We're not afraid of any kind of work here. At least not those of us that support all of you rich people out there who do nothing all day and sit on your butts and just continue to earn interest on money that you never earned. Yeah, that's not an American. That is a person who utilizes our wonderful country at their cost so that we can be charged for it and they can feel good about themselves. Yes, I'm speaking to the 2% of the working population that owns nearly all of our resources. Yeah, this is to y'all. There's actually a working class, and it constitutes of anybody that makes under $100,000 a year and that's single. That's bet. That's facts. You can look up the study of mathematics. Nobody's doing you any favors currently here in this country. At least not if you're not a part of that 2%. So I strongly advocate that you all out there really, really start to think about the decisions that we make and really begin to accept the fact that our government is archaic at best and democracy will never work. So, as good as it sounds, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Unfortunately, that's what people like myself have to do. Democracy is wrong. It will never work. So, let's try something else. Let's try to do a socialist kind of a thing. Is YouTube going to ban me for saying that we should be socialists? Because that wouldn't be very fair of YouTube now, wouldn't it, YouTube? Come on now, we're pals. So I hope that you guys have a lovely, lovely evening, and thanks for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Go social capitalism. Bye.